Most players boot up Crimson Desert, clear the prologue, and immediately chase the main quest. Exactly why they're hitting walls of unexplained mechanics in the mid-game. That's because the Greymane Camp, introduced in Chapter 3, is the actual tutorial for this game. There's a quest for almost every core mechanic, and I mean that literally. You learn about dyes, horse racing, crafting, harvesting, and get this, wagon stealing. You can steal wagons and then sell them. Most players, including myself, had no idea that was in the game. And that's in the first batch of quests, with more being unlocked as you build your camp out. So in this video, I'm giving you a full breakdown of the camp. Let's get into how it's your compass in Crimson Desert. Loading into the game, let's take a look at what the camp looks like after quite a bit of investment in the game. This is my friend Fervor Gaming's save. He's significantly further in the actual main story. As you can see, he's all the way down at Chapter 8. But then if I take a look at his map, he's really far into it. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and zoom this all the way out. He's all over the place, right? So here's his camp at this. He said he's at 121 hours. This is pretty much the basic camp. And at that point in the game, you've experienced so many little things, so many little mechanics, so many little mini games, all these things. So here's the camp as is, and this is one of the things I think a lot of people are missing out on with the camp, and it's why I think it's such an important thing to focus on early. So let's pivot now to my save that is not so far into the game. And here we are. Looks kind of the same over here, right? But as I kind of pan around, you can see I've expanded it, I've added more tents, there's just a lot more going on. And I think that the Greymane Camp, when you get it unlocked in Chapter 3, is a real easy system to just kind of ignore, because you're sitting there thinking to yourself, cool, what does this really do? And the game doesn't really explain all these things. But if I come over here into my journal and I go over here, you can see I'm only on halfway through Chapter 4, and we have, I think the actual playtime in the game is pretty comparable to Fervor's. But if I go over to faction quests, you can see I've got 21 of 34 done in Scattered Embers, 11 of 38 done in Grounds of the Sunrise, and 1 of 27 in Greymane commissions. I just unlocked that. Fervor has 0 in all of these. So the camp starts to evolve, not just simply by giving it quests, or I'm sorry, by doing its quests, but by also donating to it. And those quests act as a really important fulcrum for the game, because the game just, there's so much shit to do in Crimson Desert. And if you decide to skip on this Greymane mechanic, or the Greymane Camp as it were, you're gonna miss something really important, which comes down to 2 things. A tutorial for the game, an actual tutorial that shows you everything, and missions, and how missions are going to generate not only tons of resources for you, but lots of money. I'll show you how to expand the camp. We're going to talk about how to jump into missions. You can see that all below in the chapters. But as you see of me going through this location, we now have someone over here where I can buy and sell arms and armor from. If I go over here, this becomes a clothier, so someone who an actual tailor will inhabit that location over there. Where's the dye location? There's a dye spot all the way back here as well. An actual smith will come to inhabit the camp, so you can do all of your crafting in the camp. You can then have someone in the stable, so you can do all of your stable stuff from the camp. This doesn't even show where the farm is. There's an actual farm that's going to expand out that direction, as you can kind of vaguely see it over there. This will add in animal husbandry, which will allow you to do a lot of the crafting and a lot of the material stuff that you need as you kind of get into the refinement section of the game. Can all just be done from camp. And that is such a huge thing, because when I talked about that hidden tutorial, it's locked behind these faction quests in Scattered Embers. All of these, like this one, for example, this is for learning how to get a pet. Which I mean, I just kind of discovered that on my own, right? This is for learning how to steal and sell wagons. I didn't even know that was a mechanic in the game until I started doing this. Or Brightening the Spirits over here is about learning the actual dye mechanic and how you can organically find those recipes. This over here is learning how to bet, which is kind of a wonkopotamus mini game, I'm not gonna lie. This is for learning how to craft and harvest. This one over here is about the bounty system, which I had already kind of dipped into, but it's nice to know how that thing actually works. This one I think is, and this is to discover horse racing. So these faction quests act as a hidden tutorial, and that hidden tutorial is crucial. But to access a lot of this, I guess a lot of the deeper systems in this game, we also need to do something as it pertains to provisions. And we're going to do that by coming on over here to Carl. So I'm going to hold down the button to talk to Carl and go to manage provisions. This is one of the first things that the camp unlocks for you right when you unlock the camp. You've got recover items, which is not too important for anything right now, but camp provisions. This is probably where you're going to spend the majority of the time in the camp when it comes to providing for the camp. You'll have all of this. Can I not have my cursor out? What's going on here? You'll have, there we go. You'll have all of these things over here, which are your packaged trade goods. I learned the hard way. Do not package your trade goods because you need 25 in order to actually trade them. And we'll talk very loosely about trade because it's not a mechanic I've really pushed into a whole ton, but it is worth just kind of bringing up in this video. But these packaged goods, you'll use them for trading. I'll show how that works. You'll push them from your inventory and into there. Again, hold off on that. But this big thing is this bar at the very top here. I'm going to go through what this is from left to right. Left are the number of people you have brought to the camp. Now, this is through the questing portion of the Greymane. So through all of the rumors I've done and all the other Greymanes I've discovered, the number is 11. I think it's like 2 or 3 when it first starts off. This is the amount of arms and armor you've unlocked for the camp, either via donation or missions, which we'll get to in a bit. This is the amount of stone, either or stone its actual self, like this stone, quite literally, or anything like, that's not stone. Where's the ore that I have in my backpack? This right here. Then you'll see this is for timber, this is for food, this is for camp funds, this is your actual contribution currency, and this is the currency in your bag. So this is always going to be there, but I just wanted to help you understand the difference between this number and this number. This is your camp's funds, these are your funds. Now, what you'll do here is donate to the camp or go on missions, like I said, to bolster all these numbers. And these numbers are important because these numbers will then ferry into resources that you will use to do more stuff for your camp. And donating also contributes to stuff in literal campgrounds. So, for example, here you kind of pan over all these items. You'll see in the lower right-hand corner, this is grilled bird meat. I almost said something different. Grilled bird meat. It says donation 5 food. So if I donate all 6 of these grilled bird meat, it's going to give me 30 food. So if I were to go through the donation process over and over and over, it would take me a long time to really fill up a lot of these coffers and stores. You can even do stuff like a biscuit, which I don't recommend, but any kind of item like that is relegated to arms and armor or food, anything like that. It's based more or less off of its value. Logging axes are not worth a lot, but the Spear of Righteousness is worth more. So you can see that this was 1 arm and armor versus 81 arms and armor. So this is an important portion of the game, but it's not necessarily very explained to you. It's kind of thrown your way and you kind of think, well, what does this all do? Well, it all contributes to the most important portion of the camp from an actual mechanic standpoint. I think the hidden tutorial portion is super important, but it's the mission system that really brings us to the camp. And there's 2 ways to access this. I can go over here to Ross and just talk to him. He's going to show me a list of missions. We'll go into that in a second. But there's another way to do this. Let's go ahead and bring up our map. This is the map that I've got right now. And by default, it's at all. So this shows me everything. So I can see over here, you know what? Here's the Robdell fishing dock. And I see a little symbol for a fishing line right there for a hook. Oh, cool. There's a mission here. I can go and press inspect by pressing Y, or that on keyboard is double left click. And this will load it up. Then I come over here to missions and it shows me this is the mission that I can do. And we'll talk about this whole screen in just a second. Now, this is kind of a tedious way to do things, but just simply going to all, okay, what's over here? Oh, there's a mission here. What's over here? Oh, there's a mission here. Well, I'm going to zoom out. If I switch this filter to factions, it will show me all the missions on the board. It also shows me if there's multiple missions at one location. Take this one, for example. This is a build mission and a fishing mission. This is a livestock mission and a build mission. Again, I can go over here and just do and talk to the guy and do these missions from a list. But the nice thing about missions is you can do them when you're anywhere in the game world. And by doing that, you can simply jump into the map to do this a little bit easier and a little bit cleaner, rather than having to teleport back to camp, talk to that guy, and then set your missions up. Because I can go over here to Ross. Is it Ross? Yeah, it's Ross. And manage Comrades. I'll go ahead and then do mission dispatch. And from here, I can see the same missions that I was talking about just in a list that can be a little bit cleaner. This just allows me two different ways to do this. One when I'm at camp and one when I am at just the game world. And I can even drill down and filter this by the specific locations or locales that I've been to. So this allows me to do, again, just the specific missions in those locations and what have you. Now, unfortunately, you can't do any kind of mission sorting and say, hey, just show me the livestock missions, which I wish you could, but you unfortunately cannot. So this is the mission system, right? This is how it all works. But we need to now kind of take a look at dispatching missions and how those then give back to you. And before we do that, we need to talk about Comrades. So here are your Comrades. Luke, I think, is the very first one you get. Then Sylvan. This is, I think it's chronological. No, this is not, because I just got Ryan and Balder. Either way, you get these. I think actually Luke is not the first one. I've lied. Either way, you get these companions as you do the rumors for Marius, and Marius then gives you more. So we got one, you see that says Comrades found 11. That corresponds to that helmet at the top that says 11, right? So I've got 11 Comrades I can send out on missions. So I'm gonna go ahead and press open details. This shows me the skills that Luke has. He started with just construction when I got him, and now he has novice handler. How you increase the skill on your Comrades is by upgrading your camp. You'll get to a certain point, and I'll talk about this in a bit, that allows you to expand the camp, and that will then allow you to then increase the skills of each one of these characters if you have them unlocked. So for example here, Ryan and Balder, I just have unlocked. I just got them after I expanded the camp. They've got level 2 of each of their items, or they've got 2 skills, whatever it is. Like some people don't have all the same, like Balder, like this guy's got 4 skills, and one of them is different than the other 3. So their skills they're not randomized, they're set per each character, and that's the skills that they've got. And those skills then contribute into the mission dispatch. So I'm going to go here to, let's just do these pastures here. Now, what you need to see from this menu is a number of things. I'm going to go ahead and select the mission. And from this screen, we can decide how we're really going to do this. So we've got 3 little things right here: conversion, skills, and comrade. This conversion is based off of donating to the church. I donated just a little bit of money. I think it was 1 silver, and it gave me 2%. This percentage bonus right here corresponds to a total reward bonus. And how you'll get this bonus is by stacking skills and stacking comrades. 2 is the minimum number needed to do this mission. 4 is the max. Anything over the minimum contributes a bonus through the comrades. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. Aldrich here gives me a 10% farming mission reward bonus, and Devin gives me a 30% mission reward bonus. But wait, he also has more, that 10%. The way that this works is this skills tab is it's cumulative of all of their skills. So the 10% and the 30% are added together to make 40. But this is only going to take the highest skill gain from one comrade, regardless of how many comrades you have on that have the same skill. Let me give you an example. Devin has 40%, Evelyn has 40%. You can see that that number is still only 40%. If Devin had his 60% here, this bonus would be 100% from skills. You'll not get that bonus by having 2 characters with the same skill set. So what I'm saying here is don't stack comrades that have the same skills. Use those skills for either a different mission to help bolster the comrade number, or a same mission in a different location. So for example, using Devin here for his skill, then using Evelyn at a different farming mission. But let's go ahead and just put Pierce into this. Actually, we'll put that guy and yeah, just this, and this. So what we'll see here is we have contributed 2 people, so this comrade thing isn't linked up. A third person gives us an additional 20%. A fourth person gives us an extra 20%. It seems to be 20% per person over the minimum gives us that bonus. So you can see that our total combined bonus is now 82%, which means that we had 1,000 just for doing this, right? Plus 82 brings us to 1,800. Now there's another thing you have to know here. It's this required currency. For this mission, it's just simply money, and that's cool. I can go put funds back into you donate the funds, and that's going to go help out. So let's go ahead and jump back to donating some funds to show how that works. So back at Carl, where the camp provisions, we're going to open that up, and I'm going to press Y to donate funds, or on keyboard, that's G. And we have the capability to donate funds. So I'm just going to throw 1 silver into this because that's enough for what we need to do. I need to do 2 silver. 1 silver is 100 copper. So now we have at the top right, 1,000 copper in our camp. That's going to be enough to do our mission once. And that's the important thing to know about missions. Missions will continue to go as long as they have the resources. So at first blush, you're going to be able to do these missions and say, oh, okay, cool. You know, hey, this is gonna, I'll do this guy instead. This is gonna run and give me 1,800 food. That's great. It's gonna cost me 1,000 gold. Sick. The way that you need to think about this is that you want to do missions that will counteract each other. This is gonna provide a ton of food for me every time it kicks off. It's gonna take 16 hours, as you can see right there. It says 16 hours right here to do this. So I need to then maybe choose something like Oakenshield Manor, which costs me food and rewards me with money. You have 2 missions that work opposite each other. This costs food, gives money. The farm gave food, cost money. These 2 things then working in tandem allows you to run these missions ad nauseum. They'll just keep going until you go manually shut them off, or they run out of the resource that is required for the currency of the mission. Let me just rephrase that one more time. Whatever is in this column of required currency, because this just says 120 food, you could keep running this and get tons of gold for your camp. But let's go ahead and take a look at the wrong menu. Let's look at one of these that has multiple. So the trade goods, silk crafting. This has lumber and food as a requirement. So you use these things to create a reward, and use that reward to create the disparity that another mission is creating for you. Now, to finalize our section on dispatching, I want to talk quickly too about any of these things that are grayed out. Karen Quarry here is grayed out, but it has a little mine pick. I think there's another one up here too, like this. No. So we're going to click this one. You can still go on the other one that is not grayed out. As long as it doesn't have that little like red padlock, you're good to go. So I wanted to show this because I was like, man, I really want to go mining. But then I clicked on it by happenstance and realized, oh, I can still go mining. So I'm going to contribute some characters here, and we're going to send them off. And I'm going to just quickly go over what I've done now. So I've got 3 active missions. And this one, you can see here the cabbage harvesting that we talked about before. Remember, this is going to cost us 1,000 gold to do. This is going to cost us 850 gold to do. I'm sorry, copper for that matter. This one cost me 850 copper to do. This is going to give me though 1,200 stone. This is going to give me 1,600 food. This only cost me like 100, 200 food, and it's going to give me 2,900 copper back. That's enough to continue running these 2 missions and provide me additional camp money that will then stay in my coffers and grow my coffers, while this grows me food and this grows me stone. This is the most important portion of the entire video, is just understanding how these missions overlap to keep them constantly going, to then constantly provide you with stuff that you don't even need to manage it at this point. I've done this now. I can go off and do as many quests, as many favors, as whatever I want to do, and that will set everything up for me. Let me now quickly talk about how to expand the camp, because I think just on closing, it's important to understand how to get all these. Now, there is a different mission type I want to quickly bring up, and it is Strongholds, or recapturing them for that matter. And I can go ahead and click on this, and you can see that this has quite a high currency demand, and it's got a task time and 1 to 10 total members. But you'll notice that it doesn't have a corresponding skill attached to it, but it does have this combat power and a percentage. So Wyvern's Cradle, it says hostile faction combat power is 5180. Right now I don't have like jack super soldiers, but I'm just going to start picking them. And you'll see this little number right here on the right side. That's their combat power. And that's what I'm contributing here against that total. So this will go ahead, Comrades will deploy, and they'll go ahead and start to chip away at the combat power of Wyvern's Castle, allowing me to go help take over Wyvern's Castle and not have to deal with that percentage of troops that they have then removed for me. So using the recapture stronghold one is a great one, but it's just going to cost you quite a lot of arms, quite a lot of food, and also money. Just know that before getting into it, but it's a great way to help streamline a process where you can go ahead and then move towards this location as you do some quests, or go do other quests and come back once this has either been fully capitulated or knocked down to a point you're like, cool, this is at 50%, I'll go back and do this. After 16 hours, this is going to run again. This is going to run again. So it'll keep going and try to chip away more and more of the combat power. Just know that, I mean, take a look at what I've done. I've used 10 of my 11 comrades to do it. So there is definitely a risk reward to this as far as being able to not be able to do other missions because you've invested so much towards this. But before we talk about expanding things, I do want to go quickly into trading. It is a mechanic of the camp, but it is something that requires quite a bit of investment, and it will be part of my money making and trading video that I'm working on right now. So what you would do is this guy right here has a request. Bryce will tell you, hey, once you get an engineer, let's make a wagon. Wagons can then be loaded with the trade goods that you've put over there with Carl in your managed trade good position. And you'd come over here to the map and you find these locations that have those little scales right there, right? Those locations are trading posts. I think there's another one over here, a gold leaf one. That's just called a trading post. But you can also then trade this at the castle. And there's another, I think there's another one right over around there. There's a royal trading post around there. But you'll go to these locations and you'll take a look at this, the trading section of this, a trading post. And this shows me what they are selling, so things that I can buy, and what they are buying, which means things that I can sell, and the rate at which it's going. Like packaged glass right now, they're not paying very well for packaged glass. Conversely, they're paying better for packaged ivory or for red ginseng. So I can buy those items, I can sell those items at a better rate. But then I can also buy these items and try to sell them somewhere else. But you need to know one important thing. I brought this up in the provision section. The stock of 180, you need 25 is the minimum that you can sell. So you have to make sure that you buy 25 of these items. Same thing when it comes to loading them into your own provisions. Until you get up to 25, you can't do anything with it. So once you create a wagon, you can just go from location to location with that wagon. It's a much larger mechanic, and I want to have its own video, but this is how that mechanic does work. It is part of the Greymane Camp and was worth bringing up. And expanding the camp is really done through this guy right here, Marius. Marius is the man for the plan. He's going to give you all of your rumors. As I turn my controller back on, that was that Windows sound. So I'm going to, sorry, Marius bumped right into you. I'm going to jump over here into journal and then into faction quests. And for the Greymanes, you're going to see two big ones. The Greymane commissions are kind of just basically the same tasks that you get in Hernand that rewards you with inventory capacity. But you're going to see Scattered Embers, which is the one that we first talked about. This is a lot of the tutorials that you're going to do. These are the things that you're going to do also to bring more members to the camp. But this is an important one. But it's Grounds of the Sunrise that really grows the camp for you. Reuniting the Comrades is like an ever-going one that will give you rumors. This is going to have rumors. Grounds of the Sunrise is the big focus, because in that is a chain called Embers of the Return. And this has a bunch of stuff that then expands the camp, like this literal one that says expand the camp, and it teaches you how to do it. This is how you grow the camp, is by doing these. Very few of them are going to be gated by the main story quest, but Scattered Embers will stop based off of where you are in Grounds of the Sunrise. So if you don't expand the camp through Embers of Return, then it won't give you more rumors because the camp is capped out on its capacity. So you need to push through both interchangeably as they're presented to you, or you can't just simply drill down on one, which will then expand the camp, give you more people to take advantage of as far as the Comrades go, and also more vendors to take advantage of, right? You'll have more that you'll have in the camp to do things with. But all this really comes around to getting it done early, because if you don't, skipping this is really going to cost you in the mid game. And the reason behind that is you're just going to be doing so many things that you've already done before. Like I said before, there's a lot of tedium in these intro quests, these tutorial quests that if it's, oh, I'm bumping that guy. If you've done the mechanics already, like, hey, you know what? I've already done some of the gambling and I've organically found the horse racing. So if you've already done that, well, then those then become mechanics that are tedious to redo. I've filled out my camp a little bit more here too, as well, to see like, hey, now I've got this guy that I can craft at right now. I don't have to keep going into Hernan. So these capabilities that unlock for you as you go through this, you've got a furniture merchant in the back over here, right over behind this tent. And I've got up to 25 total members right now. The furniture merchants over there, the stables are over there. So getting this unlocked early becomes a true hub for you that you can then access in the mid game when you're going to be ranging out far and wide. And as you range out to different locations, it just starts to become a different situation of which merchants are accessible to what locations. At least this is a hub that you're also going to be doing quests from, and it really streamlines the process. So let me know in the comment section below, how are you using your Greymane Camp? Is this something that you've been completely sleeping on? Or is this something that, hey, you know what, I'm way further than you, dude, and this is what I've been able to do with it? Let me know in the comment section below, because I think this is the mechanic that a lot of people have been dodging because they don't really like, whatever, I'll build this out later, or this seems tedious. And it is tedious, rightfully so. But I think moving through that tedium is such a big reward for all the little things that you can get done here. Like I was playing like 7-8 hours of just camp stuff, and I was like, man, I haven't done combat in forever. I'm having a great time. It's kind of wild. But again, let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and it ended up helping you out, please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, as each one of those things does help me out in a huge way. You can find a link below to Twitch where I stream this game. We're going to be doing it all weekend, so check me out on Twitch where I'll be streaming. And lastly, if you've not yet picked up Crimson Desert, you can use my Fanatical link in the description below. You get a 15% discount, and my dog Roman gets a 7% commission because everything goes towards him. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one, and take care.